The Kingdom of Tonga in the South Pacific is one of the smallest nations in the world. Koe foi piriote, as Tongans would say affectionately, just a little dot on the map. But as Tongans would also say, si'i kaiha, small but significant and visible. The citizens of Tonga have profound love for God and country, reflected in their national motto, Koe otua mo Tonga ka hoku tofi'a. This presentation celebrates a singular moment in history called Tukufonua, when in a place called Poono in Vava'u, Taufa'ahau Tupou I, a Christian convert, gave Tonga to the God of heaven and earth to be the protector and guardian of his people. This grand symbolic act was one of the several steps in uniting the islands under Taufa'ahau's leadership, establishing the rule of law, and in 1875 a national constitution.
The chiefs met at this place in Poono, and they had a discussion as to whether it was appropriate to find some European power to protect Tonga. And in the end of the meeting, my ancestor, King George I, said that he would like Tonga to be protected, but only by God, not by a country on this earth, only by God.
To establish the context of this act of Tukufonua, it is useful to review key historical events. In the 1600s, when Europeans first made contact with Tonga, they were struck by the peacefulness of the Tongan people. They witnessed productive plantations with no evidence of war or weapons. Later, in the 1770s, when Captain James Cook visited the islands, he named them the Friendly Islands. He was entertained grandly by the Tongans. Contrary, however, to the peaceful outward appearance, the Tongan society was a profoundly hierarchical society which made all commoners slaves to the chiefs. Greed, ambition, internal rivalries among the chiefs and different island groups were fomenting civil unrest. In 1799, with the assassination of the cruel Tu'ikanukupolu Tuku'aho, Tonga was seized by a long and bloody civil war, fought, according to one historian, with unprecedented ferocity and treachery. Just following this chaos, John Lowry, the first Wesleyan minister, landed in Tonga in 1822. He left the following year as a result of intense persecution and constant danger. In 1826, the Reverend John Thomas came to Tonga and eventually secured a small following who embraced the Christian faith. There were others, but there was fierce resistance by some Tongan chiefs and the Tongan Taula, the priests of the native religion. They resented the white man's religion. Also resentful of the missionaries were foreign sailors, beachcombers, deserters, and criminals. Relatively soon, however, the Christian mission began to flourish in a way that was soon to transform this people into a peaceful Christian nation, governed by the rule of law and the Holy Bible. Koe siueri oi Otumotu Pasifiki, the jewel of the Pacific Islands. The key Tongan personality and major player in bringing about this swift and comprehensive transformation was none other than Taufa'ahau, who became King George Tupou I of Tonga. Heir to the title Tu'ikanukupolu, Taufa'ahau had a commanding presence. He had proven himself in battle, both as a warrior and as a strategist. Clearly, Taufa'ahau saw the advantage of being friends with the missionaries. He valued their judgment and felt their influence would help him establish peace throughout all of Tonga. But it was the persuasive religious instruction of the early native Tongan Christian ministers, such as Peter V., who touched him most deeply.